Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you know, here I share real stories from real people and the stories that reveal the complicated, emotional, and often unexpected parts of life and relationships. If you find these journeys as meaningful or thought-provoking as I do, consider subscribing. My goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, and your support truly helps make that possible. And now, without further ado, let's get into today's story. I went through my husband's phone and found disturbing messages of his sister. I, 26 female, recently went through my husband's, 27 male, phone and discovered something deeply disturbing. His eldest sister has harbored resentment toward me for a long time. I always had a strange feeling around her. We've kept things surface level, never really bonded, and now I understand why. Scrolling through their messages, I found that the hate began before our wedding. It started when we went venue viewing, just me, my parents, my husband, and his sister. His mum couldn't make it. In those messages, she was insulting my mum, saying how annoying she was, why was she here, and even claiming her own mother would despise mine. The day after our wedding, it got worse. I was horrified to read racist messages. She mocked our traditional wedding attire and used the hard R to describe my family. We're North African. There's so much more. She's called me ugly, an outsider, and claimed to my husband I'm insecure and unloved. Since having our baby boy, he's now 8 months old, she's gotten worse in the messages. She accused me of being controlling, told my husband to grow a spine, and reminded him that the baby is his too, not just mine. She even went as far as saying that if I'm so overprotective, I should put the baby back inside of me. Throughout the messages, my husband did push back, telling her to stop, to have some respect, ignoring her, blocking, then unblocked, telling her not to speak that way, but he never told me any of this. I confronted him furiously. He didn't have much to say back, of course, aside from the fact his sister has BPD. I said I would no longer be visiting their family home. His sister lives at home still. He said that it's unfair to deprive our son of a relationship with his side because of one individual. So guys, am I overreacting? I'll be honest, I do think your husband should have told you about those messages. Full transparency is important in any marriage. But I can also understand why he didn't. Maybe he thought he was protecting your peace, knowing that nothing good would come from dragging you into his sister's toxicity. That said, this situation is far from black and white. And there's more to the story as we have an update, so I will reserve my judgment for now and let's take a look at the update. Update. Hi everyone. It's been a few days since I last posted. I really needed to figure things out and process everything. So, one question that came up in the comments was, why did I go through my husband's phone? I know it was wrong to look through his private messages. I admitted that and apologized. Initially, I was using his phone to check a discount code in our mutual friend's WhatsApp chat with his knowledge. That's when I noticed a recent message from sister-in-law that mentioned my name. Curiosity got the better of me, and I opened it. In hindsight, I should have just asked him directly. For context, we've always had open access to each other's phones and shared passwords. It's never been an issue for us. After I confronted my husband about the messages and told him I wouldn't be visiting his family home anymore, a lot has unfolded. I've made it clear that I'm still open to mother-in-law and the rest of his family having a relationship with our son, just not sister-in-law. They're all welcome to visit us. We live about 30 minutes away from them, but I'm no longer comfortable going there. We went back and forth about this. Eventually, my husband called mother-in-law to explain what happened. Her reaction? She didn't seem surprised at all, almost like she already knew how her daughter felt. This is what I suspect anyway. She said it was inappropriate of me to go through private messages and that I was using our son to punish the whole family and not just sister-in-law. Also, she mentioned that sister-in-law has BPD and that her words shouldn't be taken to heart. My husband defended me on this and said it's unfair to subject me to an environment that's hostile if the sister-in-law wasn't going to seek help for her BPD and family enable her. He said he wouldn't bring our son either. Then came the excuses. Mother-in-law insists she can't travel to us for health reasons because she has type 2 diabetes, though she runs her own business and just came back from a trip to Italy. I didn't say anything during the call because I wanted my husband to take the lead and call out the BS, but he didn't. After the call he turned around and repeated the same line, that his mum can't come to us because of her health. I told him I called BS, and honestly, it felt like racism was just being swept under the rug. It was like nobody else was outraged by this. Now it's all been flipped on me. My husband says I was wrong to go through his phone and doesn't want conflict. He said he'd rather just keep the peace. The same day, his uncle, who's basically a father figure to him and his two sisters, Dad walked out on them, called us. He said that I'm causing discomfort and being a troublemaker. According to him, as the man of the house, my husband should have the final say. I'm really at a loss of what to do. I went into this angered that his sister is racist towards me, thinking of course his family will call her out and support us, only for them to now go against me. I'm standing my ground and not visiting despite their excuses. I told my husband if they truly cared about their grandson they would address the racism and see him at our home. It turns out my in-laws don't like me much and no one seems to care that my sister-in-law called me the hard R. I've told my husband I'm cutting contact entirely unless they acknowledge and correct the harm that's been done. Well, this update really changes everything. At this point, I think OP is completely right to stand her ground. She doesn't owe anyone anything, especially not a family that refuses to acknowledge blatant racism. Her husband should be standing beside her, not trying to keep the peace at her expense. Let's not forget, they had an open phone policy, so it's a bit hypocritical for him to suddenly take issue with her checking his messages, especially when it led to uncovering something so serious, and more importantly, spouses should always come first. That doesn't mean cutting off family entirely, but when your wife is being actively disrespected and isolated, defending her should be the bare minimum. But I think they should go no contact with in-laws, as they're being ridiculous. And also, he hasn't directly addressed the racism, that alone speaks volumes. Hopefully that changes soon because we've got one final update. Also, if you're still here, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And now, let's see the final update. Hi everyone, it's been a couple weeks since I last posted, so we've started seeing a marriage counselor. She's well versed in anti-racism. During one session, she told my husband, "Your silence protects your comfort, not your wife. Neutrality when your partner is facing racism isn't love, it's complicity." This was really empowering for me to hear. Overall, it's been productive. Around the same time of our first session, I finally told my parents. I had been holding it in for so long out of shame. But once I said the words out loud, that my sister-in-law called me the hard R and his family basically told me to get over it, well, my parents were furious. My entire family lives in England, where I'm originally from. I moved to the US for my husband. When my dad heard what happened, he gave my husband a serious talking to over the phone. He told him this isn't just a family issue, it's a character issue. That he failed our family by cowering in the face of racism. But the real storm came when my mum got on the phone with my mother-in-law. The call was bad. As soon as my mum confronted her, my mother-in-law began crying. She kept saying her daughter isn't racist and that I'm like a daughter to her, and she couldn't believe I'd blown it all up and thrown away years of love over one hiccup. My mum was livid. How do you call a racial slur a hiccup? She gave her a few choice words and said she'd be letting people know they're protecting a racist and enabling untreated BPD. My mother-in-law then accused me of turning her son and grandson against her. She said we meant everything to her. My mum asked, "Then where's the apology? Where's your outrage at your daughter's behavior?" Of course, silence. At the end of the call, my mother-in-law claimed she was having a heart attack and was taken to A&E. It wasn't a heart attack. She was discharged. My husband rushed over to be with her. Then it got worse. My parents wanted to see the messages, the actual proof. I waited for my husband to come back from his mum's. And when he did, he told me he deleted them. He said sister-in-law has a high-profile government corporate job, which is true. She's the main financial support for his mum and younger sibling, and if those messages got out, it would destroy her career and destabilize the family. His uncle, the one who called me a troublemaker, is a retired county sheriff who's highly respected in the community too. My husband said his mum was already in a bad way after today, and he didn't want to add more stress. He said he had to protect his mum. Now, like I mentioned before, we've always had open access to each other's phones and passwords, so I quietly went into his phone, went to the settings, and restored the WhatsApp chat from our family's iCloud backup. I got the messages back, every single one of them. I have the screenshots, every slur, every disgusting comment. It's all there. I sent copies to my family, just in case. I also forwarded copies to his side of the family's group chat. Of course they reacted terribly, and in the end, his family forced him to choose me or them. And to his credit, a little too late though, he told them that until there's actual accountability from his sister for calling me the hard R, they don't get access to me or our son. But here's the catch. He still wants to maintain his relationship with them. He's not cutting them off, and the fact that he deleted the messages in the first place says enough. I'm done with him. I don't feel like my son and I are the priority. I feel like we're second place to his family, always. I love myself enough to not be in such a toxic, harmful environment and subject myself and my son to racists by choice. I'm planning my exit now, quietly. I'm still attending marriage counseling to keep up appearances. My parents are aware too. My mum will be visiting soon in August to help me. I am deeply heartbroken because before all this I treasured my husband and our little family. I'm a bit worried though, as my uncle-in-law is a retired sheriff. They have close ties to local law enforcement. I don't want to jump to conclusions, but it does make me anxious, especially as I'm beginning to prepare for a divorce. Their family has gotten away with a lot and I don't want to lose to them. I've applied for a British passport for my son too. I'm not planning anything messy. I want things to be as amicable and respectful as possible, especially for our son's sake. But part of me wonders if I'm going to face intimidation or bias because of who his family knows. Am I overthinking? Or is it wise to be cautious? Any advice on this part especially is appreciated. Unfortunately, this is the last update, and nothing new has been shared since. The decision to quietly move toward divorce says everything. After being dismissed, gaslit, and forced to take a backseat to a racist family, choosing to walk away isn't dramatic, it's necessary. This isn't about revenge. It's about protecting herself and her son. Given the uncle's ties to law enforcement, her caution is more than justified. She's doing what she must to secure a future where she and her child are truly safe, respected, and prioritized. So here we stand with this update. Thanks a lot every single one of you for sticking around till the end of the video. If you found this story engaging, don't forget to like and let me know what you think about the story in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel guys and help me reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. It really means a lot. Take care and have a good one. Bye.